पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्. Hare Krishna. I would like to welcome all of you for our study of Sri Bhagavad Gita. So last week we did which started with the second chapter. I will just share the screen. I believe we have done till, as Mataji mentioned, we did till verse number 2. Yeah, first verse spoken by Krishna, correct? That's what we discussed last week. Okay, let's continue from there. So we have seen in the first chapter Arjuna's confusions, right? Arjuna was completely confused and he was not aware, or he was not knowing what to do. What should I do now? And also he was giving so many reasons that I will not fight. So we have seen 4 plus 5, 4 plus 1, 5 reasons. In the fifth reason we'll be seeing soon in this coming verses, but in the previous chapter we have seen 4 reasons, right? So that we understood. Now Krishna is chastising Arjuna in one way. So he is disapproving Arjuna's compassion. Basically this is what he is doing, because Arjuna's main justification was compassion, right? I mean, he had compassion for the body of the relatives, and Krishna is now Krishna is disapproving that. This compassion is not the actual compassion, Krishna is saying. We have already discussed about that also in the last class, that it's like it's mentioned here, right? It's here or in the previous, that's drowning man example. Yeah, in the first verse itself, compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. We have discussed this. Okay, so Krishna says in second verse, we'll just recite the second verse and go to the third directly. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastva Kashmalam idam Vishame samupastitam anarya jushtam aswargyam akirti karam Arjuna. Supreme Lord Krishna says, Supreme Personality Godhead said, Krishna said, this first verse spoken by Krishna, by the way, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life, and they lead not to higher planets but to infamy. So that was the comment, or we can say comment of Krishna on the first that's the first part actually. Now we will see in the second verse also he is saying. So by the way, before we go, let's analyze understand the meaning one more time. Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastidam means he is asking, how have these impurities come upon you in this critical hour of crisis? Because you are in the battlefield and you are going to fight a dharma yuddha, and this is a critical time. You are now thinking something else. Some impurities have come upon you. How it came? He is saying, how have these impurities came? Now, then he says, anarya jushtam. This will not benefit, this do not befit a civilized man who values liberation. Or he is basically saying that this your confusion or whatever impurities now you are having does not befit a civilized man. And you are a civilized man, I don't know how you got these impurities. Asvargyam, this will not lead to any higher planets or higher destinations, but what will it will lead to what? Akirti karam Arjuna. This will lead to infamy, because you are actually a famous person. Your glories, and Arjuna is not an ordinary person, right? He is a great soldier, he is a great Kshatriya. So his fame is spreaded all over the world. So now Krishna is not only all over the world, even to the other planets also, higher planetary systems also. So that's why Krishna is saying that Akirti, it will lead to infamy. A famous person like you, when something, some bad reputation is coming to you, that's like killing, right? For a famous person, any problem in their reputation is just like killing them, right? So that is what Krishna is saying. It's not befitting you. Now he continues, he says, Klaibyam, okay, let's recite. Klaibyam smagama partha. Okay, who is going to recite with me? Please let me know. I will recite line by line, so you can, you can just follow. Yes. Klaibyamma smagama partha.
Klaibyamma smagama partha.
Naitat tvai upapatyate.
Naitat tvai upapadyate.
Shudram hridaya daurbalyam.
Shudram hridaya daurbalyam.
Tyaktvottishta parantapa.
Tyaktvottishta parantapa.
Very good. Translation, please read, Mataji.
O son of Pritha, or O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy.
Yes, thank you. Klaibyam ma sma gama partha. Do not yield to this degrading impotence or cowardice. So basically Krishna is saying that you are behaving like a coward. You are trying to run away from this battlefield. Naitat tvai upapadyate. This is not at all suitable to you. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam. This is simply weakness of your heart. Tyaktotishta parantapa. Give up, give it up, and arise and fight. That's what Krishna is saying. So again, this verse also we can see Krishna is giving a chastisement basically to Arjuna. Whatever you are now thinking, whatever you are planning, or whatever you are planning to do, like not fighting or running away from the war, is not at all suitable for you. Give it up. This is like a coward you are now. You are behaving. So give it up, all these petty weaknesses of your heart, and arise and fight. This is what Krishna is trying to inspire him. Now, Prabhupada mentions few points in purport. Arjuna might argue that he would give up the battle on the grounds of his magnanimous attitude for the most respectable Bhishma and his relatives. But Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity mere weakness of the heart. So we have already discussed this in the first chapter, that Arjuna, after seeing all his respectable personalities like Bhishma and his relatives, he is that's the reason he is giving up the battle, right? So Prabhupada mentions that because of his magnanimous attitude for the respectable personalities like Bhishma and others, he is giving up the battle. But Krishna is considering this kind of so-called magnanimity as a weakness of the heart. Why? Actually, yes, magnanimity, because of the magnanimous attitude only, Arjuna has that respect to the elders. But here now, this is something, okay, respecting the elders is definitely is important. If we don't, now the situation is different. Now the context is completely different. Now he is in the role of establishing dharma. He has to do that. So whoever is against the dharma, Bhishma Pitamaha, he is a pure devotee, no doubt. But he is on the side of adharma. In the sense, he is on the side of Duryodhana. So definitely he is also, so Arjuna should not think that, Arjuna should fight against the adharma. So Bhishma Pitamaha or anybody who is standing, against Krishna and also, in the side of adharma, definitely that action has to be taken. So in that way, by the way, we have already discussed about Bhishma Pitamaha before also. Bhishma Pitamaha has taken this role just to show all of us that anybody, even though like the great personality like Bhishma, if standing against Krishna or against dharma, they will be completely destroyed. So to show all of us that to teach all of us that principle, definitely Bhishma has taken that side. That's the internal reason we have already discussed, I think, before in one of the classes. But externally we see now Bhishma is on the opposite side. So Arjuna should not feel any kind of weakness. He should not feel like I will not fight, because now Arjuna's duty is to protect the dharma. So he has to fight. So that's what Prabhupada mentions here. Krishna also is rejecting this kind of magnanimity. He is saying, this is weakness of your heart. This is weakness of your heart. You are trying to run away from your duty. Yeah, like that. And Prabhupada mentions further, such false magnanimity was not approved by any authority. For example, just imagine, dear devotees, just imagine if we are a soldier, if we are an army man, we are in the battlefield, we are in the border, okay, and the other country, any country, China or Pakistan or whatever, we are in the border, we have been appointed to be as a border security military officer, and we have already got the instructions that anybody who is trying to come to, or attacking this country from other country, from the border, or trying to come to, somehow coming as spy or whatever, you have the authority to kill. That instruction, that already the authority has been given to that military officer, correct? By the higher authority. And he is supposed to do that. If he is failing in his job, if he is saying that no, I feel some empathy, I feel some sympathy, I will not, because the enemy is trying to attack you, enemy is trying to do harm to this country. So his duty is to fight and kill him. And he has already got the order also, do it. But if he is now saying that he is finding some excuses by saying that no, I cannot do this, then he is not fit for the job. Do you think that the military commanders, the supervisors will keep him in that job? He will be maybe kicked out. I don't know what punishment they are going to give. They will give punishment because they are supposed to do their job. That is why they are there. Similarly, now here, no excuses. You cannot escape just like that. That is what Krishna is saying. Such kind of, because it's this kind of magnanimity cannot be approved by any authority, because he has to do his duty. No escape from establishing dharma. That is what Prabhupada says. Such magnanimity is so-called non-violence. So this is a so-called non-violence. Violence when it is required to be done, then we have to do. For example, if a criminal, a serial killer or serial criminal, if the government is not punishing that person, then what is the point? Then he will continue his job and others will follow him also. There will be thousands of criminals following his footsteps. So that's not good, right? That's not at all good. That is why so-called non-violence in such cases, that is why it is so-called non-violence, not non-violence basically. This is not non-violence, this is so-called non-violence, because because of some excuses we are running away from the actual duty. So Prabhupada mentioned such magnanimity or so-called non-violence should be given up by persons like Arjuna under the direct guidance of Krishna. Now Krishna is directly guiding. So if Krishna is not in this picture also, if somebody above Arjuna who is instructing him, who is authorized to do that, if he is doing that, he has to follow that. No other way. If not, then he is not doing his job. He is not doing his dharma. That's the point. Yeah. So Krishna, these two verses Krishna is giving some. He is actually disapproving Arjuna's compassion. Now Arjuna is asking few more questions now. Now Arjuna starts to speak. Let's see. Text number 4. Who is going to recite with me? Yes. Arjuna vacha.
Arjuna vacha.
Katam bhishmam aham sankhye.
Katam bhishmam aham sankhye.
Dronam cha madhusudana.
Dronam cha madhusudana.
Ishubhi pratiyutsyami.
Ishubhi pratiyutsami.
Pujar arisudana.
Pujara arisudana.
Good.
Translation. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship?
Now Arjuna, thank you. Now Arjuna is already he has said this before also. Now he is again saying, how can I counterattack in this battle? Men like respectable men like Bhishma and Drona are on the other side. They are worthy of my worship. And how can I kill? How can I counterattack? So our Acharya says that Krishna is now addressed as Arisudana, right? Madhusudana. So we should know that, of course, superiors are always respectable, no doubt. And even it's not, we should not offer a verbal fight also. That is the case. But then that's the general etiquette. So as a general etiquette, yes, superiors are always respectable. And we should not even do a verbal fight with them also, right? That's the general etiquette. But here the situation is different. Here the situation is different. Here the case is that this is something related to dharma. Here dharma has got more importance. That's one point. Secondly, the instruction is coming from the superior authority. Third point is that all these respectable personalities are on the opposite side of dharma. So there is no need of any kind of any kind of forgive. We should not forgive that such things. Even we have, scripture says that even if a spiritual master, even if our guru, if the spiritual master or a person who is in that position is deviating from the principles and completely going against the principles of the scriptures, then that spiritual master also can be rejected if there are real problems. So that's scriptural injunction. So that will be saying, I think in the next verse, Prabhupada is giving that in the purport. I just mentioned now, but we will see that. So anyway, so here it is said that how can I counterattack them? That's justification of Arjuna. Now let's see the 5th verse. Gurun ahatvahi. Okay, who is going to recite?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Harish Prabhu. Okay, so you can follow me. Guru nahatvahi mahanubhavan.
Gurun ahatva hi mahanubhavan.
Shreyo bhoktam bhaikshyamapiha loke.
Shreyo bhoktam bhaikshyam apiha loke.
Yes. Hatvarta kamamstu gurun ihaiva.
Hatvartakamamstu gurun ihaiva.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdan.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradignan.
Good. Yes.
Translation: It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, in the previous verse, fourth verse, Arjuna is asking, no, Bhishma and Drona is worthy of my worship. How can I kill Arisudana? Actually, our acharyas, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and all says, O killer of enemies, Arisudana. Arisudana means, the meaning of Arisudana is killer of enemies, basically. He is calling him Arisudana and Madhusudana in the fourth verse, right? So Madhusudana meaning we already discussed. There was a demon Madhu and who has killed Madhu. Krishna has killed him, so that is why Madhusudana. Arisudana means killer of the enemies. That's the meaning of it. So now Arjuna's justification, that question is being explained by our Acharya, saying that, as we already mentioned, that superiors are always respectable and they have to offer, we should offer always respect, and we should not even have a verbal fight with them. That is general etiquette. Then Arjuna is indirectly asking Krishna, it's not happening in the Bhagavad Gita, but our Acharyas are saying that Arjuna is thinking that, oh Krishna, if you are in this position, will you fight against, or will you try to injure somebody like your grandfather Ugrasena, or your teacher like Sandipani Muni? So Arjuna is thinking in that way. Whether Krishna will do, if he is in my position, whether he will hurt grandfather Ugrasena or Sandipani Muni. Because for Arjuna now, Bhishma Pitamaha and Dronacharya is in that position, basically. So Krishna will give answer to everything, by the way, but his thought process is his thought process, our Acharyas are saying, by the way. Anyway, now in this particular verse, fifth verse, it would be better to live in this world. This is Arjuna's, Arjuna's final conclusion. He is saying, it would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are my superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. So already, this has been already said by Arjuna before also. He is again repeating, why should we kill? How can I kill my respectable teachers and elderly people? They are my superiors. If they are killed, what kind of enjoyment are we going to get? Everything will be tainted with blood. So like that, he is again giving justification. So now our Acharyas explains there in the fifth verse, as I have already given a hint also. A teacher can be, if teacher is doing an abominable action or has lost discrimination, he is fit to be abandoned. So in this case, Bhishma and Drona, they were on the sides of Duryodhana, and because of that they lost their respectability. This is what has happened. But still Arjuna is denied to kill them. That's another case. But Krishna's justification is like, they are already on the side of adharma, so you don't have to think. That's first. This is again first reason only. Now Krishna will speak about, even if you are killing their body, you are actually not killing them. So all the philosophies will come. The science of the soul we will be studying in the coming verses. But before that, Krishna is giving external justifications also. Okay, let's see the next verse. Please, who is going to recite?
Krishna Prabhu.
Okay. न चैतद्विद्मः कतरन्न गरीयो
न चैद विद्मः कर्णत् न गरिहो
यद्वा जयेमा यदि वा नो जयेहु
यद्मा वजैवा यदि वा न योजयहो
यान यान एव हत्वा न जिजीविषांस
न एव अत्वा न जिजीविषांस
ते वस्थिता प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्रः
देवस्तता के परमुखे दद्राष्ट्रथार सॉरी प्रभु I couldn't hear.
ते वस्थिता
देवस्थिता
प्रमुखे
प्रमुखे
धार्तराष्ट्रः
द्राद्रद्राष्ट्रा.
yes dhritarashtra
Okay. Yeah. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
yeah thank you Prabhu good
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
so here now Arjuna is saying I do not know which is better. Now Arjuna is coming to a conclusion of confusion again. Already he is confused. Now he is saying I am completely confused. I don't know what to do. In that mood he is saying now. Now I don't know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. So Arjuna is thinking in that way also. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are standing before us. So Arjuna is basically completely confused and he is not aware what to do. Should I do my duty or I should not? Or risk? Or should I risk unnecessary violence? Or should I refrain from this and just go away and live, go to forest or somewhere and live by begging? Another question, another confusion in his mind. Another confusion for Arjuna is that is the victory is anyway not certain. Maybe I don't know, even if I fight I am going to win or not, I don't know. And another confusion in Arjuna's mind is that even if we are winning, if we win also, that is also a defeat, because we cannot live happily after killing all our relatives. So there are 4 confusions as per our acharyas. They say Arjuna is confused because of, he is thinking in that way, should I fight? Should I dutifully fight? Should I follow the dharma and dutifully fight? First question. Second is that should I refrain from fighting and just live by begging, because they are supposed to get the kingdom back. If they are not getting kingdom, means they don't have anything. So they will have to live by begging. Should I refrain or shall I leave everything and go to forest or somewhere? Now third point, he is thinking like victory is anyway uncertain, not certain, right? So he is confused in that way also. And finally he is thinking that victory is also a defeat. The reason is that we cannot live happily after killing all the relatives. So in different ways Arjuna has so many thoughts going on in his mind. He is completely confused. Prabhupada mentions in the purport, Arjuna definitely proved that not only was he a great devotee of the Lord, but he was also highly enlightened and had complete control over his mind and senses. His desire to see now Prabhupada, see in different purport we will have seen that Arjuna is not doing his duty. Because that was the context. Krishna is also chastising him by saying that you are not doing duty. So in that places we can see Prabhupada would have mentioned like, yeah, Arjuna's he is not understanding what he is supposed to do. He is running away from his responsibilities. Now Prabhupada glorifies Arjuna by saying the words of Arjuna is proving that he is a great devotee because he has complete control over the mind and senses, and his desire to live by begging, although he was born in a royal household, is another sign of detachment. So Prabhupada is now quoting the qualities of Arjuna. And he was truly virtuous as these qualities combined with his faith in the words of the instruction of spiritual master. In this case, Krishna is acting as his, in the position of his spiritual master actually. So everything combined, Arjuna, Prabhupada mentions that Arjuna is virtuous. Then he says, it is concluded that Arjuna was quite fit for liberation because he is a devotee, pure devotee. Unless, then Prabhupada teaches all of us, unless the senses are controlled, there is no chance of elevation to the platform of knowledge, and without knowledge and devotion, there is no chance of liberation. So liberation means to get out of this material world. Arjuna is already fit for that because Arjuna is already a pure devotee, by the way. And Prabhupada mentions the importance of controlling the senses. The senses, unless the senses are controlled, there is no chance of elevation. Means we will not be able to, elevation the platform of knowledge means we will not be able to understand any spiritual knowledge. That will not go inside our heart. Because if you are more into sense gratification, spiritual knowledge will not go easily. It will bounce. And Prabhupada mentioned that. Without knowledge, then of course, devotion, forget about devotion. If you are behind sense gratification, devotion will not be also there. So senses has to be controlled. Then the knowledge and devotion has to be cultivated. Then there is a chance for liberation, or we can get out of this material world. And Prabhupada says that Arjuna was competent in all these attributes, over and above his enormous attributes in his material relationships. So he has material relationships like with all his relatives and all, but above that, above all of this, Arjuna was having so many good qualities. He was fit for fit for liberation. In the sense, he is a devotee, he is a pure devotee. So Prabhupada is basically glorifying here through the purport Arjuna's qualities. Even though the situation context is different, but still we can see his good qualities. I hope you would be remembering also the last verse of the first chapter also says that soft-heartedness in Arjuna is fit for receiving the spiritual instruction. There was a statement by Prabhupada there in the purport. This soft-heartedness, Arjuna's soft-heartedness is good for receiving spiritual instruction or instructions. Basically, I am paraphrasing it. That's not the correct sentence, but that was the meaning or context. Okay. 9:38 already. Should we continue? Probably we'll continue tomorrow because this is a different section. Now, Arjuna's confusion is being seen. Now, finally, Arjuna is going to surrender to Krishna in the next verse. Arjuna is saying that now I am completely confused. I don't know what to do. You have to give me instruction. So now in the next verse he says, so he is 3-4 verses are there wherein he is surrendering to Krishna, and then from 11th verse onwards Krishna is going to speak. So from 11th verse onwards, actually the Bhagavad Gita, the philosophies, or we can say the teachings starts. In the sense, Krishna's instructions starts. So yeah, we will see that in the coming sessions. Okay. So we'll stop here at verse number 6. Verse number 7 onwards we can discuss tomorrow, Krishna willing. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaura Premanade. Thank you. Hare Krishna.